Hey guys, Adam here from the Tint Academy. Now we're one of Canada's top training from coast to coast, from Vancouver, Edmonton, Calgary, Winnipeg, Toronto, and of course Halifax. We're gonna do a quick video on how to properly cut a window. Now when most come into our course, we teach everything on a window. We do recommend if you're gonna go the plotter route, that's very awesome, you have very clean cuts, or you can use a peel board as well. This video is for somebody that is mobilely going to people's houses, dealerships, or other shops, and then cut directly on a car. Now, a couple things to note when you're cutting on a car. You always want a super clean knife. Now, if you see the OFA knife here, it has a little piece on the very end. I can take that piece out. It's gonna have a slit right in the back of the knife here. I can take that slit, get a fresh blade and cut up, and it's totally clean, it's totally fresh, and it's not gonna cut our windows. Now, we recommend in our course to get a fresh blade, chop that blade off every 2 or 3 windows to make sure you get a clean cut and you don't scratch the window. Next thing to know is that the angle of your blade. So when I'm cutting on my glass, I want to keep my blade at a 30-degree angle off the window. The higher I go up, the more of a cut I'm going to have into the window. And the final thing that I want to do is in your course books in the Tint Academy, we suggest to have 0.2 pounds of pressure on our window. So to put that in perspective, because who really knows what 0.2 pounds of pressure is, we want to have enough pressure to come through the film, engage the glass, but not push it into the glass. So if I have my hand here, I'm gonna have my knife and I'm gonna cut across here. You can see I engaged, I created a little line in my hand. I didn't cut my hand, I have no blood, but again, I did engage my skin, but I didn't cut through my skin. That's the same amount of pressure I'm gonna have when I'm cutting my window. Now, that all sounds great, that all sounds fancy. So we went through new blade, angle of the blade, and the pressure of the blade. Last and fourth point is the kind of blade we're going to have. Now, we're using an OFA stainless steel, which is an AB5OS stainless steel blade. We recommend to use that blade because it's a stainless steel blade, it's not going to really cut into glass. If you go to any store, they are going to have an OFA brand, but it's going to be a carbon-based blade. Carbon-based blades are going to be a lot more rigid and will be able to cut into glass. So it needs to be stainless steel. Now, if you're still having trouble here, we're going to do what's called a drill. I'm going to give you guys a quick drill to learn how to cut on glass. So we do have a piece of film here that we're going to show you what to do. So I'm going to have my white high card here. I spray behind it, and I'm going to anchor it in here. I'm going to cut this small edge across here. Now, in our window tinting courses, we always teach to start from the bottom and working your way up. I see a ton of YouTube guys, Instagram, social media that start at the top and work our way down. In our courses, we recommend to start from the bottom and work your way up. One reason is because when I enter my film, it's gonna leave a little bit of a divot. If it's down below here, it's gonna leave that divot where no one's gonna see and it's not gonna catch. So when I'm coming to do this drill, we're doing what's called a 10-step cutting drill. I'm gonna do 10 cuts and keep shifting my film just to get used to cuts. First thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have no blade out of my knife. When I enter my film, I don't want any blade to come out so I don't pierce and create a gap. I'm gonna find my bottom corner. Once I find my bottom corner, I'm gonna bring my blade out 1 click. The more blade I have, it's gonna be extremely flimsy and create an uneven cut. That is the difference between a stainless steel blade and a carbon blade, is that it's gonna be more flimsy, leaving a lot more of a cut. So when I'm cutting my blade, I only want 1 blade coming out. When I enter my film, none, 1 blade up. So I'm gonna cut my film, come up to the corner. Now, when I'm cutting into my film, I get my 1 blade out, I'm gonna come straight up. We're gonna use our side rubbers as our guide. If this is my side rubber, I'm gonna use it as a guide coming into it. If I cut, so I have here, if I cut across, I want it perfectly parallel with that side rubber. If I cut into that side rubber, it's gonna leave a giant cut into the rubber, which we do not want. If I angle my blade away from the rubber, it's gonna create a gap, which we don't want as well. So I wanna keep it perfectly parallel. Once I make that cut, I'm gonna peel it away, then I have that cut across through here. Once I make that cut, I'm gonna shift it over. I'm gonna shift it over so it goes over top of that here. I'm gonna shift it, anchor it again. No blade out, find my bottom corner, 1 blade up, coming straight up, peel, peel. I'm gonna do that 10 times. So I'm gonna cut, rip, shift, anchor, cut, rip, shift, anchor. Now again, I hope all that stuff helped you out. If this did find helpful, or if you did have an issue with your cutting, go through our 10 cutting drill. First off, make sure you have the proper blade, OFA stainless steel. Make sure it's clean, make sure it's sharp, make sure your angles are proper, make sure your pressure is 0.2 pounds of pressure. Do 10 cuts, shift, anchor, cut, shift, anchor, cut. I hope you guys found this video entertaining, enjoyable, and informative. Please email us or visit us at www.tint.academy for more information just like this one.